Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony, and let's take a look at the Cooler Master MasterCase H100. This case, as many of you know, is going to be for a mini ITX build I'm doing for my parents. And as you see here, it's a pretty small overall box. They actually have it pretty compact here. They have the specifications on one side here, dimensions. You know, it's 12 inches or 12.28 inches by 8.5 inches by 11.85 inches. So overall, you can get pretty good clearance on this thing for a really, really small compact case. And as we open it up here, you can kind of see it looks like it's got some pretty good packing. So hopefully this just slides out. They did put the handles, as you can kind of see there. I didn't push them in because that's just going to cause me problems. But the handles are in styrofoam, so if you put it out, you'll have to deal with that as well. There's the empty box. Comes with styrofoam, so there's one piece gone. And that's the plastic in the case. So I'll set this down for a second. We have Cooler Master Make It Yours, little instruction pamphlet on how to do everything if you care about that. I probably won't. I probably won't even look at it. So, but let's set the box and stuff off to the side, and then let's take the plastic off. So here you go. It's got the back here, I/O shield, spot for your GPU, power supply cutout there. It's, you know, just a simple steel case. It's got a little handle up on top as well, so you have a handle, if you can see that right there, that you can hold, as well as this is a mesh right here, fine metal mesh. Once we get into it, I'll see if it's got a filter on there. But as you see, USB ports, they say 3.0 on here. You got your power button, you have your reset button there, your microphone, headphone jack, and then your hard drive LED light. The side panel is just a little piece of steel, and looks like a little piece of steel shaving on there on that side and there. But then you also have the front, which is Cooler Master with your 200mm fan there, and you have side little metal vents as well. So that's metal and metal there. The bottom, you have some nice feet that are, you know, they got some nice little rubber on them to keep them so they shouldn't scratch up anything. So we'll see how that all goes. This almost seems, this bottom part here almost seems like it's, you should be able to pull up and take that part off. So here's the front taken off, and now you have the huge fan, 200mm fan, which I like. It should work really well for this build, as well as in the IOs up there as well. So with that, it doesn't look like that side panel here isn't going to come off as easily as I thought, but of course they really tightened on this side. I don't get why they make sure that they're super tight when you buy the case. We don't need them. Man, this is really tight. I may be back. Might need to go get a screwdriver. Yep, I'll be back. I'm back with a screwdriver this time. So now yep, Cooler Master did put them on quite tight. And they're quite stiff, so it's not as nice as some, you know, higher end cases with the thumb screws, but here we go. So side panel is now, after you loosen the two screws, side panel comes off. And here's how it is kind of laid out. If you can see that, you have another little panel here. I'm guessing that's for some support there of the case. The other side panel, I can see now how it comes off. It is just little tabs that keep it in, or that's what it seems like. Yes, there's 4 tabs in there, but until I take off this little side panel, that's going to be a little hard to get to. But 4 screws here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it looks like here you can almost mount maybe SSDs to them or something. I bet you that's in the instructions. Whoops. Yeah, we'll have to look at the instructions. But here's just in general, it's got a, I don't know if you can kind of see that there. It is twisty tied to that metal piece. But then once we get this off, so there's the metal piece. It almost looks like you can mount like SSDs and stuff to there. I'm sure it's in the instructions and exactly what they want you to use that for. Here is actually, we'll take a look at this bag in a second here, but you have your USB 3 connector, then you have your power and LED connectors, as well as you have your LED, so you can get the right colors to match, and you have your front fan connector, so you have your LEDs there, front fan, and then audio. So those 3 connectors there. This right here will come off if you want to mount the power supply to it, or you can just, from here, you can just slide the power supply in and mount it there. On the bottom, as you see there, that's a good spot for your SSDs. It looks like 2.5-inch drives mounts there as well. Maybe a hard drive could go there as well. This side panel, oh, it does have a couple screws in there, so there's, I'm not going to really take it off because I don't actually need to put anything behind there. As you see, it's pretty well sealed off. There's really no space for anything on this board. It's just got the standoffs, and so you can see the standoffs in there. You put the board in. There's really no access on the other side. They don't even have stuff where you can route cables for the most part. That's all closed off. And this, if you can kind of see, is not that, it's pretty thin. So if you do were to route cables, it would be pretty hard overall. So there's not a great sense of cable management here. Even as I'm feeling up on top by the handle, they could actually have left the handle out. I don't know if people really want something to carry, but that could have been better cable management there as well. But that's pretty much it for this huge case with the RGB fan. So I'm going to set that off to the side, and let's take a look at what we kind of came with. So they did supply what it looks like is to be an awful lot of cable ties, or zip ties, or whatever you want to call them. I'm sure there's an official name there somebody will tell me about. Okay, so you do get a switch here. So if you want to mount this, you can mount this switch if you don't have it on your motherboard. And you can actually do RGB with it. So just plugs into SATA power, and then so you got SATA power here, and then on this side it goes to your RGB, and you have your switch that can plug in there. Just goes back and forth. So there's that, and then you have all your screws and little rubber pieces and mounting stuff. So that's about it for this case. I'm gonna go put this case together now with the parts. I gotta take take the computer slightly apart where I built it before, but then I'm gonna put it all together and see where we sit. So Let me know if you have any questions about this case. I'll give you my thoughts about building with it here after the build as well, and let me know if you have any questions or concerns about it, and I will address those in that video. So thank you for watching Gray Overload. Thank you for taking the time to help support this channel and helping it grow. I really appreciate it. Until next time, God bless, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.